For decades, NASA has searched the endless darkness beyond Mars, looking for something, anything, that might whisper, "We are not alone." But on a quiet morning at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory in California, a strange signal appeared on NASA's monitors. A faint pulse, coming from the edge of Jupiter's magnetic field. At first, it looked like random interference. But when scientists zoomed in on the data, they noticed something impossible. The signal pulsed, like a heartbeat. NASA's Juno spacecraft, orbiting Jupiter since 2016, had picked it up. The transmission wasn't a random wave of energy. It followed a perfect mathematical pattern: 2 seconds on, 1 second off, then silence, repeating again and again. When decoded through NASA's AI filters, the signal revealed a sequence that resembled the structure of DNA. A living pattern. In the cold void of space. Immediately, NASA reoriented its deep space network. Every antenna, from California to Spain, turned toward Jupiter. The signal's exact source was identified near Europa, one of Jupiter's most mysterious moons. Europa has long fascinated scientists. Beneath its frozen crust, there's an entire ocean, a place many believe could host microbial life. But this signal wasn't coming from beneath the ice. It was floating 300 miles above it. Almost as if something was orbiting Europa itself. NASA gave it a name, Echo 9. Because every time they transmitted a test signal, it answered, exactly 9 seconds later. But the response wasn't identical. Each reply contained a small variation, as if it was learning, adapting, and responding intelligently. NASA engineers double-checked every possibility: solar interference, radiation, malfunction, but nothing could explain it. Echo 9 wasn't random. It was deliberate. Within days, rumors spread online. Anonymous sources claimed NASA had discovered proof of alien intelligence. Hashtags like #JupiterSignal and #Echo9 began trending worldwide. Mainstream media called it the second wow signal. But inside NASA, the mood was far from excitement. Because something about the signal had changed. It began emitting faint infrared light, visible through Juno's thermal sensors. And the light flickered in the same rhythm as the sound. A pattern identical to the heartbeat of a living creature. NASA held an emergency meeting with Pentagon officials. The discussion was classified. Should they send a probe? Should they attempt direct communication? Or should they remain silent? One senior scientist reportedly said, "If it's alive, we could be interrupting something we don't understand." Still, after long debate, NASA gave the order. Juno would adjust its orbit and move closer to the anomaly. It was a dangerous decision. Jupiter's radiation could destroy the spacecraft instantly. But they had no choice. They needed answers. As Juno approached the coordinates, the data feed became unstable. Static. Glitches. Then, silence. For almost a full minute, Mission Control thought they had lost contact. And then, the signal returned. But not from Juno. It came from Echo 9. A transmission, stronger than ever before. It was broadcasting back toward Earth. The tone had changed again. It now carried a repeating harmonic pattern, almost like a melody. Some described it as a song. Juno's cameras finally transmitted low-resolution footage. What NASA saw left them speechless. Floating above Europa's orbit was a massive, translucent shape, organic, glowing softly in Jupiter's magnetic light. It wasn't metal. It wasn't rock. It looked alive. Pulsating veins of light ran across its surface. Every pulse matched the rhythm of the mysterious signal. It was as if the object itself was breathing. Juno's data feed abruptly cut off. NASA teams stared at blank screens, listening to that rhythmic pulse echo through their speakers. A living entity. Near Jupiter. Watching. Responding. Waiting. No one knows what happened next. But one thing became clear: we were no longer just observing the universe. The universe was observing us. Last time, NASA's Juno spacecraft detected something impossible: a living, glowing object orbiting near Jupiter's moon, Europa. The signal pulsed like a heartbeat. And then, it started sending something new. A melody. A song echoing through deep space. NASA called it Echo 9. And this time, they were determined to see it up close. At the Jet Propulsion Laboratory in California, a classified operation began under the codename Project Lumina. A team of top astrophysicists, biologists, and AI engineers were assembled. Their mission was simple, but terrifying: to decode the song of Echo 9 and understand what it meant. They discovered something strange. The pattern inside the melody wasn't random at all. It contained repeating numeric ratios that matched prime numbers. And prime numbers are the universal language of intelligence. NASA's quantum AI system, known as Artemis, was assigned the task of decoding the transmission. After days of constant processing, Artemis produced a translation pattern. What it revealed shocked the team. The signal wasn't just communication. It was a map. A three-dimensional coordinate map of Jupiter's orbit with a single glowing point right above Europa. And at that location, Juno had already recorded the luminous, breathing shape. NASA released a command sequence for Juno to stabilize its orbit. As the probe moved closer, its camera systems began to pick up the object in full clarity. What they saw defied all explanation. It looked like a massive, transparent jellyfish hundreds of meters wide, drifting gracefully through Jupiter's radiation belt. Its outer membrane shimmered with light, and inside, swirling patterns moved like liquid fire. Every pulse of light synchronized perfectly with the original Echo 9 signal. NASA's onboard spectrometer recorded a stunning result: the object was generating bioenergy, similar to living cells on Earth. Its chemical readings suggested traces of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, the fundamental building blocks of life. But what truly shocked the team was the presence of adenine, a compound found in DNA. This was no spacecraft. It was a living organism. Scientists at Mission Control decided to respond. Using Juno's transmission system, they sent a coded light signal back to Echo 9, 3 flashes, then silence. 9 seconds later, the object replied. 3 identical flashes. Perfectly timed. Perfectly synchronized. For the first time in history, humans had exchanged a message with something alive beyond Earth. But then, something unexpected happened. Echo 9's light began to pulse faster. Its rhythm shifted from calm to chaotic. Juno's sensors spiked with radiation readings higher than anything ever recorded near Jupiter. The spacecraft's magnetic shield started to overload. Systems began shutting down one by one. And then, without warning, the signal stopped. Total silence. For 48 hours, NASA lost all contact with Juno. Every attempt to re-establish communication failed. Then, suddenly, the probe sent one final data burst before going offline forever. The last image it transmitted showed the luminous creature moving away, vanishing into Jupiter's upper atmosphere. And within that image, scientists noticed something extraordinary: a symbol, etched faintly in light resembling a spiral, the same shape found in human DNA. The discovery shook the scientific world. Some claimed Echo 9 was a natural bioplasma phenomenon, a living form of energy born in Jupiter's magnetic storms. Others believed it was engineered, an ancient life form, possibly sent here long before humanity existed. And a few suggested something even more chilling: that Echo 9 was not just alive, but aware. Aware that we had found it. NASA classified the full data under top security. But fragments of the signal leaked online. To this day, researchers can still analyze parts of the Echo 9 pattern, and many claim the melody continues, faintly, from Jupiter's orbit. Did NASA discover a living organism in deep space? Or did we just awaken something far older and far beyond our understanding? One thing is certain: Jupiter is no longer just a planet. It's a frontier between life and the infinite unknown. Juno was gone. NASA's most advanced probe. Destroyed after its final encounter with the glowing creature near Jupiter. But before its systems failed, Juno transmitted a hidden data packet, encrypted, fragmented, and labeled simply as Echo 9 Vision. Inside that file was something no human had ever seen before. Deep inside NASA's archives, scientists decoded the final data burst. The file wasn't just images. It was a visual recording, captured in Juno's last seconds. The footage showed the organism expanding, its translucent body opening like a massive flower in space. And at its center was light. But this light wasn't random energy. It shimmered in patterns, spirals, geometry, equations. One symbol appeared again and again, a spiral identical to the Fibonacci sequence. The universal code of life. Then came the most shocking discovery. Inside the frequency of the signal, NASA's AI Artemis detected faint modulation, almost like a voice buried within static. When amplified and translated into sound waves, the pattern resembled human speech. A soft, rhythmic tone repeated one phrase again and again, "Not alone." Was it coincidence? A natural echo from radiation? Or was Echo 9 actually speaking? The revelation divided the scientific world. At Harvard, physicists argued it was impossible no organism could survive Jupiter's radiation. At MIT, biologists claimed they saw proof of a bioplasmic structure, a form of life that doesn't need oxygen or water. The Vatican released a statement calling the event a reminder of divine creation. Meanwhile, conspiracy forums claimed NASA had already made first contact and was hiding the truth. But amidst the chaos, one thing stood clear: the universe had just become alive in a way humanity never expected. Weeks after Juno's destruction, NASA's Deep Space Network detected something familiar: the same rhythmic signal. Echo 9 had returned. But this time, it wasn't near Europa. It was moving. Orbiting closer to Jupiter's equator, almost following the planet's magnetic field lines. Its heartbeat was stronger, faster, louder. And then, once again, it transmitted coordinates. But this time, the coordinates didn't point to space. They pointed to Earth. NASA tracked the signal's path as it aligned perfectly with Earth's orbit. For nearly 12 minutes, the transmission focused on one spot: the Pacific Ocean, somewhere near the Mariana Trench. Scientists feared it might be a natural resonance effect. But deep-sea sensors began picking up faint electromagnetic pulses, the same frequency as Echo 9. Whatever it was, it had reached us. Artemis, NASA's AI system, made one final connection. By comparing the chemical data from Juno with human DNA samples, the AI found a 2% sequence match of molecular similarity between Echo 9's signal pattern and human biology. It was almost as if our genetic code shared an origin. Could Echo 9 be ancient? A seed of life itself, scattered across worlds billions of years ago? If true, it would mean all life on Earth, including us, might have begun near Jupiter. In a classified meeting, NASA scientists debated the unthinkable. Echo 9 wasn't alien to us. It was part of us. Maybe it had been watching Earth for eons, waiting for the day we were advanced enough to notice. And when Juno came close enough, it finally decided to respond. Across the world, the news changed everything. Religions, philosophies, science, all were forced to rethink existence. If life could begin in the storms of Jupiter, then maybe the universe is filled with life, not as invaders, but as relatives, connected by the same cosmic thread. Months later, NASA recorded one final transmission from the outer solar system. It was faint, almost like a whisper through space. When decoded, it formed a single, haunting phrase: "Remember the light." Since that day, the signal has never returned. Juno is gone. But the memory of Echo 9 remains a reminder that the universe is not silent. It's alive. And it has been waiting for us to listen. The transmission from Prometheus-X stopped. But the data it sent changed everything. NASA was in complete silence. What they found near Jupiter was not just a living structure. It was something ancient. Something intelligent. Something watching us. For a very long time. The last recorded message from the probe was a pulse of light, repeating exactly 3 times. Then total blackout. But inside that final data packet, scientists decoded a strange image. It wasn't random pixels. It was a map. A star map. Not of Jupiter, but of our entire solar system. And one point was glowing brighter than all the others. That point was Earth. Dr. Cartwright stared at the image for hours. She whispered, "It knows where we are." NASA's senior officials panicked. Meetings were held behind closed doors. Some wanted to destroy the data. Others believed it should be shared with the world. But before any decision was made, something unexpected happened. Juno's instruments, still orbiting Jupiter, began to detect a massive surge of energy. It was the same frequency Prometheus-X had recorded. Only this time, it was 10 times stronger. The pulse spread across Jupiter's atmosphere, lighting up the gas clouds like a living heartbeat. Beep. Beep beep. Beep. Earth's telescopes picked it up. For the first time, the signal was visible to everyone. There was no hiding it now. Within hours, the media exploded. NASA contact with alien life? Something alive near Jupiter? Is humanity ready? The story went viral. But NASA stayed silent. Behind the scenes, Dr. Cartwright's team made one final discovery. When they slowed down the signal by a factor of 10, a strange pattern emerged, human-like frequencies hidden inside the noise. Almost like a voice. Using AI decryption, they reconstructed part of the sound. It wasn't clear, but one phrase could be heard. "We remember." Dr. Cartwright froze. She replayed it again and again. "We remember." What did it mean? Who were they remembering? Some scientists now believe this life form isn't alien at all. It might be something born from our own cosmic past, a remnant of an ancient civilization that evolved in the gas fields of Jupiter long before life began on Earth. Others say it's not biological life but a form of energy intelligence that travels through magnetic fields like a digital consciousness. Either way, one truth became clear: humanity was no longer alone. The president addressed the world. "Today, we stand on the edge of a new chapter in human history. We have discovered that the universe is not silent. It speaks. And now, it has spoken to us." As she finished, the same signal echoed again from deep space. Beep. Beep beep. Beep. Only this time, it came from two different directions. Not just Jupiter, but somewhere beyond Saturn as well. Dr. Cartwright whispered her final words to the camera logs. "We thought we found life near Jupiter. But maybe it found us first." The screen fades to black. A single line appears on screen. "Signal active, 72 hours since last contact. The universe is awake. And it's listening. NASA just found something strange near Jupiter. And it's alive." Last time.